Good afternoon, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this afternoon, CLA chief lashes staff amid internal turmoil. Fears of victimization at the Cannabis Licensing Authority are intensifying after CEO Farrah Blake labeled some employees as cowards and urged dissatisfied staff to quit as internal turmoil deepens at the agency overseeing Jamaica's ganja industry. "You don't like the authority anymore, you leave," Blake said after earlier saying, "I'm not threatening anybody." Blake openly aired her frustrations in an August 26 meeting with more than 15 employees from the Human Resource Management and Administrative Division. In the 25-minute session, the CEO voiced her dissatisfaction with internal leaks, asserting that they are undermining the CLA's reputation. "You may not be happy with the CLA, you may not be happy with the decisions that are made, you may not be happy with the people making the decisions, but you did sign that agreement, and if the public sector is serious, there can be repercussions," she said. It is not clear what agreement she was referring to, but it is standard practice for new employees in the public sector to sign an agreement to adhere to the Official Secrets Act, a colonial-era law that criminalizes disclosure but is seen as a tool to intimidate staff from revealing potential wrongdoing. Blake has not responded to emailed questions about her comments. An assistant has said she was in a meeting when the news called her office on Friday. The CLA has been facing public scrutiny after the news revealed in August that an oversight committee within the CLA was disbanded shortly after rejecting an unqualified applicant for a senior role. Despite the committee's opposition, the individual was hired and resigned a few months later. The story has exposed a major rift between staff and the CLA leadership and the questions about the level of competence in handling affairs at the regulator. "It is appalling, I'm telling you," said an employee responding to Blake's comments. The official did not want to be named for fear of victimization. "Tension is rife across the CLA, and the CEO could not even say to us that she hears the concerns and is committed to addressing the issues. Instead, it's just about finding out who. We have not even been spoken to as a general staff. Why would staff share anything outside? There must be a reason. Most of us will not use the whistleblowing protocol because we don't trust them, and the meeting vindicates us." The worker added, "A clear witch hunt is going on, and the board, the ministry, and the Auditor General's department, not a single soul is doing anything about it. If it did not reach the media, we wouldn't have any response from the board." Over the past 4 months, more than 24 CLA employees have voiced their concerns to the news, particularly about the disbanding of the Human Resource Executive Committee in January and the subsequent hiring decisions. The CLA employs roughly 60 persons, all on 2 to 3 year contracts. The CEO has the final say on hiring. Blake appears to believe that the HR management and the administration division is responsible for the leaks, even mocking the staff and accusing them of not being smart enough to conceal their actions. "It's childish, it's low, and it's coward. It's not even as though you can send us something and it says or gives the impression that it is coming from another unit," Blake said, while stressing the importance of confidentiality. "Whoever is doing it, it is so specific and it is so detailed that it has come from here. So how does it make you feel knowing that you can't even throw a shot in the dark? The level of intellect is not that great that you'd be able to strategically camouflage what you're doing." Blake, who joined the CLA as a CEO in August 2023, warned that the release of internal information could impact employees' future career prospects. "You get mad and you leave here and you go somewhere else, people are going to look at your tenure at the CLA. That toxic place that you used to work at that ends up in the paper every week for 6 weeks. You're going to be judged by that place, and however the public feels about that place is how they're going to rate you, myself included." In addition to addressing internal tensions, Blake made it clear that the CLA does not intend to respond to several questions sent by the news since August 12. The inquiries covered a range of issues, including human resource practices, efforts to buy a 2025 Toyota Land Cruiser, contracts for refurbishing a facility recently leased to house the CLA, and outstanding annual reports. We will not be answering any questions about how people are hired, if they have passed their probation, if they work in security or they don't. Whatever the questions are asking, we're not answering any of those questions, Blake said, citing the Data Protection Act. She added, matters of the authority and how we move, who we contracted to move, who is assigned to drive vehicles, and all of those things, that is not for public consumption. After ending her comments, which she called her 2 cents, Blake asked staff to voice concerns, but the only query was regarding the CLA's planned relocation. This is the second instance in recent months where a public entity has deployed the DPA as a means to restrict access to basic information. Blake said that information about staff was confidential and the CLA was duty-bound by the Data Protection Act 2020 to protect the privacy of our staff, according to a response she provided on August 23. She asked that questions that do not expose the authority to a confidentiality breach be resubmitted. The news resent them on September 2, but there has been no acknowledgement. Blake's comment during the August 26 meeting appeared to be in contrast to a statement released by the CLA on August 10, which presented a more conciliatory tone in response to published staff concerns. Colin Bell withdraws as a PNP caretaker in Portland Eastern. Colin Bell says he has withdrawn as the People's National Party caretaker in Portland Eastern. In a video posted on social media platform YouTube, Bell cited lack of support from some councillors within the constituency as the reason for his withdrawal. I am not going into politics to lose, and if there are forces against me within my space, sometimes you have to give people what they want, he said. I am asking my supporters to support the candidate that the PNP will put in place to represent East Portland, he added. Bell was given the nod last year by the PNP to challenge incumbent Portland Eastern Member of Parliament, the Jamaica Labour Party's Anne-Marie Vaz, for the seat in the next general election. Golden promises to fix problems relating to fixed-term contracts. Opposition leader Mark Golding has promised that, should his People's National Party win the next parliamentary election, it will address the vexed issue of fixed-term contracts. Addressing party supporters in Clarendon Thursday night, Mr. Golding declared that many workers are being denied their basic rights under the current contract system. These workers, he said, deserve some new thinking, some protection to ensure that their rights are protected. Elaborating on the issue, he conceded that sometimes contract arrangements are valid and proper, but he asserted that sometimes they are abusive of the rights of our workers because they deny them the basic package of benefits.
Our workers in this country deserve some support, some new thinking to ensure that their rights are protected. We have a thing in this country called contract work. Sometimes contract arrangements are valid and proper. Sometimes they are abusive of the rights of our workers because they deny them the basic package of benefits that man like Michael Joshua Manley fought hard to ensure that they should have. We want to ensure that in the government system, persons who are working for long periods of time on contract and don't have the benefits and the security that they should have become proper employees so that they can have those rights and those benefits.
Guys, thank you for watching. See you this evening at 6 p.m. for another news update.